All right, everybody. Hey, behind me is this beautiful English Tudor style home, maybe a Bavarian looking home. Love this thing. This is one of our last of our customizing homes that we've got. Let me grab this. I've got you guys on a tripod. Hang on here. Look. And this is the one I showed you with the garage door. This is a Dalton without dormers. This is a Dalton with dormers. I'm trying not to make you sick by moving this camera. And this is an all black. I love this. We came up with this color scheme. Really, Amanda picked out all black color scheme. I love it. I think it looks great when we get it done. I'll be showing you more of this. This Tudor style home, we'll be doing that one. We're finishing up the inside. We got some beautiful, beautiful custom homes that we're doing. I love custom. I have always done it. We built the business on custom homes. And then down there's our ESPs that are going into the Grove. All right. Oh yeah, and then this is the Thunderdome, everybody. You see, those are hand-built trusses that we built. My son and I built the first 100 foot on here, and I raised them up with a forklift, wrapped my leg around a pole and set them up. That's 33 feet high. So it's 33 feet high, 60 foot wide. I'm gonna set this tripod up right here. All right, so we're in the Thunderdome tonight, and this is a Q&A. Amanda and I came up with the Q&A. I thought, wow, it'd be great to have them. Well, it's Q&A, and I've got the questions are up in my head, and I've got a few. I didn't print them out today. It's been a big day here at Incredible Tiny Homes. A lot of people want to know where we're located. It's 850 Industrial Road, Newport, Tennessee. And man, could I go on about Newport? Could I go on about what's going on here? So a lot of the Q&A I'm going to do tonight is just a fill-in. Let's do some fill-in things about what's going on with Incredible Tiny Homes. Where are we going? A lot of things are happening. I like to have a lot of stuff going on. I think we need to do that to keep stimulated, there's so many people with so many different ideas of a tiny home, right? Because they're personal, and because we're not doing completely all customizations that we did for almost 8 years, which is, I don't know any other company that does just custom all the time. And now we do our model homes, and that's being super productive for us and popular. We can always sell more, right? We can always do more, but there's a lot of stuff going on. First of all, I want to tell you about the Grove. It rained all day again today. But you know what? Our excavators were out there working, putting in the secondary power, which I explained to you guys what a secondary power is. That's from the transformer to the house. And there's 72 homes, 72 ditches, and ditches that connect them two together and putting conduit in. Monday morning, we're coming from the state inspection. We'll inspect those ditches. We get them done, we backfill, and then we dig our water lines, and we're ready to put roads in. And I'm talking, that goes quick, all right? So we're hoping by the end of next week, which will be Christmas, we'll have it. Now, you guys know I try to get everything in by Christmas. I said I'd do my best. We're darn close to getting it in, but we're not waiting on anybody. Mother Nature hammered us with some good rain, but I was told tonight that we got about 10 days of sunshine coming, and it's going to be beautiful. So we're good. Let's keep rolling. All right. Other than that, the mountain, we've had, I think there's 41 manholes, and we got a gravity-fed sewer system, just like we do here. All the manholes have been paid for, have been delivered, they're being set up and organized. I have what I've taken up. Actually taken Mike Haynes, and I'll introduce you to him. He is actually overseeing any of the infrastructure that goes into the mountain and on the Grove. That's what I was doing. I was making all those calls and arranging them and going. But I'm trying now is to implement all of our tiny homes on marketing and trying to get out to California and some other places in the country, tiny home, Florida, some tiny home festivals we'll let you know about. So I'm trying to, delegate, right, some of what I do. So we got the mountain, we got the Grove, and we got the Incredibox, we got the homes on the Grove. They're going to be hammering them out at the end of this week. We're hoping to be done with our 10 by 20s. We'll start our 12 by 20s till the end of the year, and we might have all of our 10 by 20s trickling into the first of the year. Think about that, 72 homes, big homes, in less than probably, 2 months, 3 months that we've been able to build 72 homes. Somebody's out there, got a forklift going. And so that's, and I will do a video on the Grove tomorrow. I'll show you what it looks like. Them guys have been working in the rain, all right, which is amazing. Usually excavators do not do that, but man, they've got mud scattered everywhere, and it's looking really good. I can't complain. We had the meeting tonight of our supervisors that are about the Incrediboxes and the progression of what we're doing and how we're doing things, and I can't express that we've already been a success if we never sell another house. It's an amazing success, done. We built probably close to 300 homes just this year in the Incredibox. That's just like so cool. When we didn't know if we would sell any, you know. So thank you for your guys' support and watching us and doing and buying homes. Sorry, just kind of, I hate coughing because I got this microphone. You guys are probably gonna get sick of me. Let me get it right here. All right, I sang a song last night. I can't believe you guys complimented me like you did. Thank you so much for complimenting me on me singing. And I don't know, there must have been hundreds of comments, and I can't thank you enough. I mean, I'm talking positive, and I knew, like you guys know, I usually don't go comments, but I felt weird last night doing the song. So you're saying, why did you sing a song? And the last comment that I read, this like, what was it? What's the, like, why did you do that? Right? What's the purpose? Like, what were you thinking? And that's why I put on there, not right in the head, right? Well, I've been singing since I was a young boy. I've been singing with my dad in the living room, right? Singing in the car. Dad, I thought my dad had the prettiest voice there ever was, you know? And and then I learned to sing with him and to sing old songs, and it just meant something to my soul, you know? Back when I was 12 years old, right? Think about this. 12 years old, I listened to Johnny Cash, Folsom Prison Blues. Let me see if my phone's going. Yep. Folsom Prison Blues. And I remember I would take the speaker in all of the turntable, and I put it on the front porch, and we lived in Flat Rock, Michigan, and everybody lived in little houses. They were 900 square foot, and we were all about 20 foot apart. It was hundreds of them. And so in the summertime, everybody'd cruise, all the teenagers would cruise up and down the streets. And I turned Folsom Prison Blues on because like nobody ever listened to Johnny Cash, because I was only 12 and all of my buddies were listening to rock and roll and all this. I didn't do it. I don't know why, but my soul was just, it was just to that kind of music. And I just loved my dad's stories about him growing up in Kentucky and it was just, oh my God, I could see it vividly. It was just such a beautiful painted picture. And I could tell you this, the days went on, it was constant. I would sit at his feet and he would just talk. I remember him sitting in a lazy boy chair, drinking a quart of Budweiser, smoking a cigarette, coming home from a steel mill, and I'd sit there and he'd talk stories, and God, we'd laugh and carry on. And that was my life growing up, all right? So last night, I wanted to sing the songs because I was listening to Don Williams. Don Williams is an old country singer, and I liked the song. And when I was out in Phoenix, there was a couple ladies that came and visited me, and I just want to thank them for coming and seeing me. And there was a couple in some wheelchairs that came and see me. And one particular lady that came to see me, and I don't know if she's watching yet or not, but she came and she had a reflector vest on, and I didn't know the whole story till the end of the day when she was leaving, and she spent most of the day with me. She was, you know, kind of parked outside the tiny house and all the people, and I get to talk to her every once in a while, and I got to visit with her, and I loved talking to her and getting to know her. And anyway, she was paralyzed, you know, from the waist down. I think it was like the waist down. Couldn't walk, of course, and it happened 21 years ago. And what got me is after I started thinking about her, you know, she was perfectly normal and got in an accident, and then she lost the use of walking again. And you know, her husband stayed with her. They're still married. He still works, and he's taking care of her at the point, but I don't think he has to take too much care of her now. Now, he does a little bit. She said she was bragging about how beautiful her husband was. And she had to take a bus to come to see me. But when the bus dropped her off, she had a mile to get to the event, a mile in her electric wheelchair. The day she came, it rained all day. And she came in garbage bags on her legs and kept dry. I didn't know all that until she was leaving. And I looked outside and it was getting dark and she was still there, and I said, well, man, what's going on? How can I get you to the bus so you don't, it's raining outside? She looked at me and she said, you kidding me? She goes, I'm tough. She goes, you don't have to cater to me. I'm going to get to that bus. I got it all set. Put her reflector vest on, wrapped her legs in garbage bags in her chair, and she went a mile to the bus station. I said, well, how long you got to be on the bus? How does that work? She said, what are you talking? Don't you worry. And she told me not to worry about it. She said, I'm tough, I'm good. And she got on the bus. She said the bus gets on there and then go. And I just thought about the inconvenience of that would be to a normal person. That she had to ride, in her wheelchair in the falling rain. Falling rain, listen to me. In the falling rain, and then ride a bus home. Well, the reason that means a lot to me, and I'm sure it means a lot to everybody if you just sit and think about it, if you would have met this beautiful lady and you've seen her tenacity and you've seen her ability to not give up after 21 years of being paralyzed in that chair, and bragged about her husband being beautiful, and she still loved life. And you know what though? We got to talk. And she had some dark times. She had some times where she didn't want to go on. Anyway, been thinking about her off and on since I got back from Phoenix. And that song come on the other night, and I was thinking, and I was like, you know what? And I could have said something last night, but there was something in a way that I got this thing in my head how I feel at the time I'm videoing, and then I want to throw it out there. It's like a music video, like old MTV and had music videos. I'm like, I got this feeling. And so when I sing this song and you got Simple Ace laying on the ground, and I'm like, this is just kind of, I hope people get the heartfelt that I felt doing it. And I think 90% of the people did. But this song was when I had her on my mind, thinking about her. And it says, I believe in you. And it was simple times. I believe in mom and dad. I believe in children. I believe in babies. All that. Just you feel the simple sweetness of what it is to be a human being, right? To be a human being, that those things, no matter where you're at in this world, what other country, race, wherever you're at, that is a song. The words in that song means everything to any human. And when I thought about her strength and her tenacity and her ability to go on, I thought of that song and I want to sing it, and that's why I sung it last night. So I'm a person that likes to share how I feel. I don't care to cry, okay? I don't care to express how I feel. I don't care to be made fun of. I don't care to be shown wrong. I don't care to show where I'm wrong, and I'll say I'm sorry, and then I'll stand up for myself too. So, but it's a point to where when I do a video, if I get a thought, I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to think if this is macho or guy, or if I'm going to do this, or I'm going to get ridiculed on comments. And the only reason I don't read comments is I don't think down deep it's good to be edified a lot or degraded a lot. Okay, I think, I want to be even playing. Now, it's hard for me to get any kind of, I'm pretty rough on myself. I don't think I'm I'm not the Burt Reynolds or the, Clint Eastwood or Brad Pitt or anything. I'm not that, and I don't think of like that, but I'm pretty much more hard on myself with things that I need to improve on in every aspect, physically, mentally, spiritually, and everything. So I don't do a song, or I don't perform, I don't come on here like this to get any kind of edification. I come on here to tell you about tiny homes, right? So we need to sell tiny homes. This is our marketing. When we went out to Phoenix, and I know I'm bouncing all over here, but one thought leads into another thought, is talking about that marketing and the importance of YouTube and you all watching this and sharing this. I kind of bank on you guys, maybe if you like something here, that you tell somebody about it that may want a tiny home. They may not want it now, but they might want it in a year from now. So I'm building this business, and I'm looking down the road. And that show in Phoenix, in Scottsdale, it cost us about $15,000 to put that thing on, from airfare and food and the transportation of the homes and the hotels and all that stuff. It was a lot of money. Now we sold I think we sold 8 or 9 homes, maybe a couple more than that. We had one guy couldn't come through with it. And so financially it helped on that end of it, but it was the word we wanted to get out. I wanted to get out. Well, what I'm finding is the people that came to the show watched this show. And so they knew to come to the show because we were going to be there because they watched it on YouTube. So I'm finding even though I'm going to these shows, they're coming there because they knew we were coming. And so I'm at the dilemma. It's like, well, do I really need to go to the shows if people are already watching the show? But I do think I need to. And the reason I do is I want to meet you all, and I think it's good for you guys to meet me. I think it's good for you all to walk through our homes, see how it's built, what's going on. I wish I could bring a model home. I'm actually thinking about taking a model home to Jacksonville, Florida, and the one in Pinellas Park. And I'll get those dates. Oh, the date in Pinellas Park is January 21st and 22nd. I'll try to be in Pinellas Park because that same weekend, the 21st through the 29th, I'll be in Quartzsite. So we're thinking about being in Pinellas Park, but we're going to split the team up, and some of us will be there and some of us will be in Quartzsite. So, but we do have it January 21st through the 29th in Quartzsite, the 21st and 22nd of January in Pinellas Park, Florida, which is right by Largo, Clearwater, St. Pete. That area right there is called Pinellas County. And a lot of us all here are from there or lived there before. And then our Jacksonville, I'd have to look. I think it's in March, and I'll get you those dates for sure. And then we have one in San Diego we're thinking about going to, not for sure yet. And that one will be, I think, in March. Okay, so enough of that. But I wanted to hit all that about the song last night. Thank you for your comments. And why I do what I do and how I act and do and say. You know, a couple comments on there were asking about Amanda. I know I addressed this issue over and over. And, you know, there's probably some responsibility of informing maybe. Some people said, you know what, you're not required to say anything, about whatever happens, you know, and I'm not. But over the years, I knew when Amanda and I started this show that if anything was to happen to her or I or wherever we wanted to do that, you know, it's going to have to be explained, or it could actually be a detriment to our YouTube. Now, I don't do YouTube to get money from YouTube. Now, we get paid from YouTube and it goes up and down all the time, but it's just pennies compared to what I need to make the company run. And we roll any money we get, we just roll it back over into marketing. So I knew that if our show didn't continue, we didn't know if we were going to do the show together or how it was going to happen or where it would roll or anything. So over the years, we have been doing the show. And of course, you guys love her energy, love everything about what she's done. She will be in my life forever, you know, and I'll always love her and always cherish the times we've had and everything that we've done, you know. But just, it's personal things. I couldn't tell you, you know, what I'm doing is I'm going on. And this is a stressful business. It's been really hard. Amanda is not, she only was here because of me. She was only here to help me, right? And so I've seen the stress in her life and her eyes and everything that was going on in her life. And she it was enough. It was done. It was a lot. Now she misses you guys. She misses being on here and hearing your comments and all that. But it's just, you know, it's for about an hour and we do our videos every day. But the running of this company it's amazing. It's tough. It is absolutely a tough thing. And the way I handle it is a whole lot different than when she would handle it or Tom or anybody else here would handle it. So I just didn't want her to feel that pressure anymore either, you know, but she made the decision not to be here. So all I say now is if you guys would just honor her privacy or honor her decision, you know, not to be on the show. And if that's where it is, what it is. If you guys don't want to watch it, and I don't blame you. You know what? She's great energy and she brought it here and she was fun. And I understand if people don't want to watch anymore. That's the way it is. Life goes on. Okay? So anyway, that's, I don't know if I'll say any more about it. I don't want to say anything unless she wants to say something. That's up to her. But anyway, I just want to tell you that, you know, her and I care deeply about each other and want the best for each other, and I love her to death, and I always will, okay? So there you have it. There's a drama, you know what? There's a drama to go. Now listen, you know, I'm talking to a phone right here, and I know that what I say goes all over the world. So you just don't blab stuff. You tell stuff the way it has to be told, and then that's it. This is public. I'm talking to anybody out here, right? So this is a unique way of communicating one's life and one's business, all right? And like I said earlier, the subjecting yourself to criticism is absolutely can be bone crushing to a human being. I have seen people crumble on YouTube. I have seen people quit on YouTube. I have seen massive, beautiful shows that are millions and millions and millions of subscribers quit their show due to the stress of criticism. Well, I'm not going to bend to the stress of criticism because I don't want to know the criticism, all right? Now, I do want to know your comments. I want to know who you guys are, and there's a lot of people out there. I read your comments. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to meet you guys, and we need to have a jam is what we need to have. We need to have people physically come here. I can look you in the eye, I can shake your hand, I can give you a hug, and we can show you our homes, and we can talk a little bit, and I'd love to do that. So I'm going to be working on a jam. The thing is like we were talking, it's like, where's everybody going to park? You know, all we have is homes out here now. But we are a spectacle, and I'd like to have a jam so we can meet you guys. And so that way, when we do have these YouTubes and I don't get to read the comments, and I miss that because there was a lot of interaction about when we used to go live, we would talk back and forth during the show, and it was fun. But we had so many trolls that were just like destroying the show. And remember our signal would go out all the time, and it was so frustrating, so we didn't do a live show. But we may do some live streaming in the future. So there you guys go. You got it. A couple things. The Q&A tonight. I know Men and I started a Q&A together. I'm probably going to tweak it a little bit so it'll be a little more entertaining for you guys, because I know I don't get to razz Amanda and bounce stuff off of her. And that reminds me of today. We had a couple come in from Oklahoma. Hope you guys are doing good. They're going to stay the night near Memphis and going back home to Oklahoma, and they bought a house in the Grove, and they come by to make a payment and to look at their house. And he commented about how he loved the videos. He loved not knowing what I was going to do next, you know, and I like having fun on the videos. And but they were really complimentary of our facility, their home being built, and these videos and what we do. And so I really try as much as running this company and keeping all the guys going and running all the aspects of everything and putting my mind to a video and what I'm going to say and what we're going to present. There's a lot of energy in that, you know, trying to make all that work. So, you know, just hearing his compliment was nice. It's reassuring that I'm doing something that kind of gives somebody a little bit of entertainment. And like I think I told the guys before, and I've told you all before, there's a responsibility that I have of coming on here and whatever I say. I don't know why. I just feel like there is. And I read a couple comments last night. You know, I could feel it inside me before I put that song out last night. I said, somebody needs this song tonight. They didn't need me singing it. They needed the song. Well, I can't just play the song, copyright rule, and we can't monetize that video because I was singing with the artist. I was singing with him, and it just helps me sing better like that. I don't know, it helps me tone when I'm singing. And I wish I had them little the earbuds, and I could sing and I would be better. But anyway, we didn't monetize it, and that's fine. This, like I said, I don't, and they didn't ping us or nothing. You can put all that stuff on there, and they won't criticize you. It's just you can't monetize. I can't make any money off the video. And I thought, well, it'll probably go viral and have 1 million subscribers or 1 million views, and there won't be any money come off of it, which we use for marketing. But I don't care. That's fine. I enjoyed it. But I knew somebody would probably need that song. And I just felt it. I thought, somebody needs to hear this song. Somebody's coming in their house from a long day's work, and I hope that they turn it on, and I hope it kind of gives them a good feeling. And I thought, man, if I can do that, think about it. Think about When's the last time you were able to do something that somebody said to you, wow, thank you so much for making me happy. Thank you so much for turning my mood around. When's the last time that you had the opportunity to turn somebody's mood from gray to bright sunny? When's the last time? And having this video, working 8 years on YouTube, 6, 7 years on YouTube, and building this company and being in the public spotlight like this and putting yourself vulnerable has caused me to have that ability, or have the chance or the opportunity to try to change somebody's mood. You know, and I just had a thought. There's so many things we do wrong in life. There's so many mistakes we make in life. There's so many decisions we've made in life. There's so many people we've hurt, right? We've hurt people by not being the person they thought we were going to be, or just not panning out, or we've just, you know, we've all hurt somebody in our life. And to be able to maybe come back and not be devastated by that, but to be able to come back and help somebody through a song, right? Through a nice gesture, or just sitting and thinking. And you know, a lot of times, you know, I don't know, so many people ask me if I meditate, but I know I don't sit and meditate, but you know, I do is I get quiet. And mostly it's when I drive. Sometimes I'll just take a drive. It's an hour drive there and back. And I keep a notepad by myself, and my mind just starts going crazy. And I just start writing while I'm driving. I'll be writing all these thoughts down. And it's amazing how alive my mind will come. And then I want to be able to share that and do things and get creative. And that's kind of like what happened with that song. So I encourage you, you know, act like a fool, do what you want, don't be right in the head. I got that comment, or that quote from Braveheart. And that was the Irishman, you know, when he was protecting William Wallace. And the other guy was trying to kill William Wallace. And he said he just wasn't right in the head, you know. And I thought, that is perfect. It wasn't right in the head. I got so many buddies that are not right in the head, right? And so we all said that together. We're not right in the head. So anyway, hey, Q&A. One thing I wanted to point out, and I'm going to do another video, is on the stucco. We had a lot of people ask questions about the stucco. We're putting stucco on this house right here. So I super encourage you to look into the stucco. It's called Stucco Flex, all right? F-L-E-X. It comes out of Seattle. We actually have a warehouse in Knoxville here. 5-gallon bucket, weighs about 60 pounds, pretty heavy. And it comes in any color you can get. What we do is what they refer to as use the Sherwin-Williams color wheel. Sherwin-Williams comes with a 4-digit number. So if you go online and you pick out a certain color, it'll have SW 4-digit number. If you call Stucco Flex, they're out of Seattle, you'll give them that 4-digit number, they'll mix it up. Now shipping, we've got one here in Knoxville, we go physically pick it up. How they would ship you that 60-pound bucket of stucco, have no idea. But I'm sure they can, and they will figure out how to get it to you. The cost on that stucco is about $85 to $90 a 5-gallon bucket. That's what it costs, all right? I'm answering all these questions because there's a ton of questions on it. Also, it takes 2 coats to cover a 10-foot by 10-foot square. We call that in the construction industry 1 square. That's 100 square feet, 10 by 10. So one bucket will cover 2 coats, 10 by 10. So that's $85 will cover a 10 by 10 square. Okay, that's the material coverage. Now, they asked, question was about the inside. Now, we stucco the inside of the house, but we also use a Durabond, D-U-R-A-B-O-N-D, Durabond. And there's other products that are like that, but it's a powder form like flour. You get a sack of flour, and it's got minutes on it. It'll go from 25, 45, or no, it's 20, 45, and 90 minutes. We call it mud, all right, and when we do sheetrock. So the mud and those numbers is how fast it will dry. So you can imagine, you take a 20-minute mud, and what I do is I take that pan, and I'm going to do it again for you guys. This is a Q&A tonight. Is you'll take that metal pan, and I take the powder and I put it in the pan, right? I fill it up about halfway. I take water and I add water slowly, slowly. And I'm going to tell you the best way to do the Durabond, not the Stucco Flex, but the Durabond, is take an egg beater, a double paddle egg beater, put it inside that and just work it. I learned that from my buddy Wayne. He is absolutely the best sheetrock. He had a company, had 200-300 employees, and he physically can put the mud on a wall. Like we call it slicker than a mole, all right? And he would take that egg beater and that 20-minute mud, and you got to get it on the wall because it will dry in less than 20 minutes, especially if it's not real wet. But you got to get it on. But we usually do the 90-minute mud here. It gives you enough time to workability, get it all set up, and you can use a bigger drill and a paddle bit if you want to use it on a bucket and Durabond. Then you put it on the wall. What we like about the 45 and 90-minute mud, it's not so much subject to cold and moisture. If it was a real humid day or it's really cold, it'll still dry. It'll actually dry underwater. So if you took a 90-minute mud and threw a glob into a bucket of water, it will harden underwater. And that's called Durabond. Now what we do is we take the Durabond and we spread it over all of our screws and seams inside of our ESP home. I love Durabond and I love the spreading of that sheetrock in there. First of all, Durabond is quick drying. You can use regular sheetrock mud if you wanted to. It's going to take a while to dry. And you got to put heat and allow the moisture to get out of the house while you're adding heat. Durabond's not that sensitive to it. It'll dry immediately anyway. But you spread it with a big knife. We had the pan and a 12-inch knife. And this is just to answer questions from the video. And I will show you Durabond and how to put that on. But you spread that over, and the biggest thing is when you're spreading your knife with the Durabond over the screws and the seams, is you try not to put a lot of product on at one time. It's so much easier to skim it, and you're thinking, that doesn't look good, it's too thin. Let it go, and put another coat thin, and another coat thin. And by the time you get that whole wall done, your arms and your motion, your motor, your muscle memory and all that, you're going to get the rhythm of all that. You're going to get the rhythm of how to move that knife. Your arms are going to get sore. Your wrist's going to get a little bit sore because you've never used it like that. But I guarantee you, just take your time. And that's why I love these ESP homes. You guys can take one wall and take a weekend and do the whole wall. Just don't be in a hurry, and it'll look great. And by the time you're doing it on your own, and by the time you get around to the other wall and the other wall, you're going to feel so accomplished that you're able to put that on your house. And you don't have to sand it. If you keep it thin, that knife is to take off all the big hunks and make it thin and build your coats up one after another, one coat, and you'll eventually, and as you get thicker, let me put my hands, as the coat gets thicker, you want to go wider. And we call that fanning it. You fan off so it doesn't just come up, boom, and you're covered. You don't want that. You want it to be somewhat spread out so it blends in with the flat part of the panel. I know I'm using my hands a lot and I'm talking a lot and yeah, I should be demonstrating that. And I will. I got Durabond tomorrow. I'm going to do an example and show you guys how to do Durabond on there. And you do the same thing with the Stucco Flex. All right, other question was, can the Stucco Flex be painted? Definitely yes. It can be painted any color you like, but you can order it any color you like. So the beauty of Stucco Flex is that it comes a color. It'll come in white, come in brown, it'll come in black, it'll come in, you name it, any kind of color you want. And you never have to paint it. Now, dark colors, no matter what you get it in vinyl sidings, paint, whatever it is more subject to fading in ultraviolet lights than a light color or a tone, an earth tone. I was just out in Phoenix, and man, everything was the color of dirt. Everything was brown, beige, all these earth tone colors because they weather better. They don't fade as much, and you can't tell if they fade. If you have a dark green or a dark blue house, those colors are going to fade pretty quick. And you won't know it unless you had a bright color next to it a couple years later. So you can paint it. Is it waterproof? I know I mentioned that the other day walking by the house. It is water resistant. Now, if you put it on the wall like this here, no water is going to come into the house. It will not fade water inside, not whatsoever. It's just not made to go on the roof. Okay? The product is water soluble. So like I said, if you get it on your hands, it'll wash off with water. If you get it on your clothes, it washes off with water. You've got to do it quick. If you get it on your clothes and you leave it, your clothes are ruined. You can't wash it off after it's dried. I don't know why. But if you put it on a roof and you have it on a flat surface, the guy said eventually, it'll take a long time, but that water, if it lays on that roof and it doesn't move, eventually that water will dissolve that stucco flex, okay? So don't put it on a roof. Is it good in freezing temperatures? Yes, they use it in Alaska. And they also use it in Arizona, which is great, hot, 120, 30, 40 degrees, right? Perfect. It's elastic. It moves and contracts. If you go to Stucco Flex on YouTube, there are some really cool examples of what this product can do and how durable it is and how it's been used, all right? I'm trying to think the other, it does have a little bit of fireproofing in it, fire resistant, I guess. And there was one other question, painting it, waterproofing, the color. I think that's about it on the Stucco Flex. You can, you know, we've changed it and we put the swirls in it. People love it how Carlos and the guys are putting the swirls in it. And I've never done that. He actually come up with that. I think it looks really good. I like the smooth. Now, you can get what's called a really fine Stucco Flex. So that's the grit inside. You can get some with no grit. Now, I tried to get that, but it was almost like paint. So what I would do if I was going to use, and I wanted it just slick. I mean, I'm talking almost like glass. So I would probably use my gritty. I would use a fine sand, right? Like what we use is all fine sand aggregate inside of the Stucco Flex. And that grabs a hold of everything. And I've never done this before, but I had gotten some that didn't have any grit, and I wanted it to be as smooth as can be, and it wouldn't work as the first, second, or third coat. But I think it would work for a last top coat. Now it's kind of thin. You can't use a lot at one time. Remember when I put my pan or my knife on the stucco, it would not come off of my knife. This here will run off your knife, so you can't put a lot on it. You might roll it on. So I would probably take a roller and roll it on the wall, and I would take my knife and then I would spread that beautiful, nice, and I'd pull most of the product back off, and it would be real thin. I will tell you what, we've got a container out here full of the stucco that we bought, and if I can dig some of that out, we'll try to do a non-aggregate Stucco Flex on one of these houses. So non-aggregate, fine, medium, and coarse. Now coarse has got marbles in it. I'm talking, not big, huge half-inch marbles, but rocks. And when you spread that on there, it looks rough. It looks like regular masonry stucco, all right? So they've got all that different look that you want on that. All right, I think that does it for Stucco Flex. Again, subscribe to this channel, thumbs up, give us a notification, or not give us one, but you guys get on a notification. So when I come up with a video during the day, you'll get notified to know. I will be doing one on the Durabond, on the Stucco Flex, and I had a great comment that I read, and I'm gonna probably start reading comments just so, because I gotta see what you guys wanna see, and it was a great idea. I'm gonna put a sink, right, inside an Incredibox, and because we leave the drain and the water lines in the floor. So I'm gonna do a video completely and show you, okay, you got an Incredibox. How do I put a sink and mount it inside the bathroom of an Incredibox? And I'm gonna show you where it's located in the floor, how we add the drain, the water lines, and add a sink. Now the other thing I'm looking forward to doing some of these really cool ideas, because I'm gonna try to take an Incredibox and do all these ideas to help you guys see what you can do, because we've sold a bunch now. How do we add to our loft? How do we put a loft in a 16-foot like Tom did on his hunting one? How do we hang a TV on a wall? How do we mount a sink? How can I put a washer and dryer in my Incredibox, right? So I'm gonna start doing these videos just to help you guys, the procedure and what we have to do this Incredibox. I see the Incredibox as something that can grow with you all, something that can evolve. We give you the shell, we give you the complete, excuse me, I need a drink of water. You need a complete, it's wired plumb, the mechanicals is done. You don't have to worry about electrical, you don't have to worry about anything. And you guys can just make it, add all this stuff. You know, Naomi up there in Fresno, she's got hammocks in it, she's got shelves in it, she's got a catio going on inside that thing. It is so cool of the personality that she's given her home. There's things on the outside you guys can do, like Brian Cardy over here. He's got an Airbnb over here on the beach, him and his wife, Mary, and they put vinyl siding on the outside. Gorgeous home. It looks amazing. And I think we have several people here that are adding all kinds of stuff to the inside, and I love the ideas of doing that. So I'm hoping that we can continue to build these homes throughout the years, and we can see you guys evolve into what you guys do with these Incrediboxes. Wouldn't it be so cool to have a Incredibox convention? Everybody brings their Incredibox, and we're able to show off what we've done and all this crazy stuff. So, and I got a buddy of mine. We're building a Incredibox. Greg, if you're watching, say thank you, man. We're looking forward to building your off-grid. He's got like, I think 6 batteries, 8 panels. He's gonna have, we're trying to find a porch for him and an awnings, and he's got this elevated suspension because it's gonna be off-road. It's gonna be like gnarly, dude. Yeah, and I can't wait to get that done. So thank you, Greg, for letting us have that opportunity of building you a house, and it's gonna be amazing. We'll show you guys how that evolves. All this comes from our price tag, every bit of it. You can buy a house for $25,000 and build on it from there. Amazing, 20-foot home for $25,000, and again, we still do have our 8x16 tiny house for $20,000. That's what I personally live in, love my house. But we're not going to build them anymore. Everybody wants 20-footers, and I can understand that. All right, thank you guys. I'm not going to bore you anymore. Thank you for everything you guys have done. Thank you for your comments, and stay tuned. I'm going to bring you guys some amazing videos. I'm going to bring you Randy Jones. I'm going to show you who I am. I'm going to show you this company. I'm going to show you the men behind this company, the people that live here, the homes that people live in here, and then the tiny home shows we go to, the people that live around those tiny homes, and the great ladies that I talked to, an example that I talked to tonight, of the people that I've got to meet at these shows. And so if you like what you're hearing and you want to see more of it and you want to see my life pretty much on display, it's like instead of the Truman Show, you got the Jones Show right here. If I could carry a camera, I don't care to show you what's going on around here most of the time. So I will bring to you guys as much information as I can. Also, I want to let you know that we do have a gentleman. His name's Matthew, and his girlfriend are in San Diego, and they're staying in our 20-foot Incredibox. And they're trying to do maybe a documentary of what it's like to live in an Incredibox, and they're in San Diego. And I'm going to go down there and see them, I think the 13th of January. I'll be going and visiting them, and then from there I'll be going to Quartzsite for the show. So I just thought about it. I probably won't be in Pinellas Park. But hopefully we get to see how that young couple is living in that Incredibox off-grid in the deserts of outside of San Diego. So a lot of things going on, everybody. Hey, if you know anybody that needs a home, $25,000, we'll bring it to you. Let us know. We love our Incredibox, and I'm done for the night. Thanks for watching. I'm Randy Jones with Incredible Tiny Homes. And that's it. All right, I got to hit that little red button right there and call it quits, and I go get my dog. All right, see you guys.